Good morning. Thanks for joining, or good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Gabe Riley, and I am a product marketing communications manager on Instagram ads. And today we're going to take you guys through some information about how to get started advertising on Instagram. So first thing we'll do is just talk about the Instagram platform overall. We'll focus then on the kind of advertising solutions we currently offer on Instagram, as well as some specific learnings and best practices you can apply to your Instagram campaigns. We'll then talk about getting started with Instagram ads, so how to actually buy, how to plan, how to manage and report on your campaigns. We'll do that at a high level. We also have included more detail on how to do that within this webinar, so there's a handout that's been posted. That handout will walk you through step by step how to buy Instagram ads and how to do a number of other things, which we'll cover in this webinar. Finally, we'll do question and answer at the end. But the way we'd like to run question and answer is to have you guys submit your questions throughout the course of the webinar. So as things come up, feel free to fire those questions into the chat. And what we'll do is analyze the questions as they come in, and we'll try to kind of group them into some key themes. And we'll field sort of the top 3 questions or the top 3 question themes at the end of this webinar. So there are 3 key things we want you guys to sort of take away today. The first is that Instagram is now a full funnel solution. So we offer advertising objectives, ad formats, and a suite of features that can drive any number of different kinds of objectives. Anything from more brand building oriented objectives through to driving action. So we can drive actions like website clicks, website conversions, as well as mobile app installs and mobile app engagement. So Instagram is now really a full funnel advertising solution. The second is that Instagram ads work. Over the last few months, we've greatly expanded Instagram ads. We've introduced Instagram ads to 200 markets around the world. We've made new ad formats and new buying objectives available, and we've learned a lot in doing so. We've learned that both for clients with brand objectives, as well as for clients who have more performance-oriented objectives, Instagram ads work. And we'll share some of the specific results and case studies on this webinar. Finally, it's really easy to get started. And as I mentioned, we've included a step-by-step guide that will walk you through planning, buying, reporting, and managing your Instagram campaigns using both Facebook's Power Editor interface as well as Ads Manager interface. And a lot of the topics we cover in this webinar are covered in much more detail in this guide. So we encourage you guys to download the PDF. It's a really practical way to get started on Instagram. So let's start with the platform overall. The mission of the company and our focus is on helping people capture and share the world's moments, and to do that through photos. And that simple, single-minded simplicity has really resonated with consumers. So right now there are 400 million active Instagram users around the world, and 75% of those people live outside the US. So the simplicity of Instagram and the power of images on Instagram has really resonated with a global audience. They're also a really passionate and highly engaged audience. So the average Instagram user spends about 21 minutes per day in the app. And the community overall is submitting and uploading about 80 million photos every day. So this is a mass phenomenon. It's a phenomenon that people are really engaged with, spending their time with, and contributing to. So what makes the Instagram experience unique? Well, Instagram is all about visual inspiration. And what we mean by that is when people scroll through their feed on Instagram, they're very open-minded and they're looking for inspiration from their friends, from their families. They're looking for inspiration around their passions and their interests. In fact, many of the people they follow on Instagram aren't their friends, and much of the content they see in their feed are from people they don't know and from their interests. And one way to make this a little bit more clear is to kind of compare the Instagram experience, say, to Facebook's experience. And Facebook is very similar in that it's a feed-based environment where people discover new content. But on Facebook, people are discovering content through the lens of their friends and their family. Whereas on Instagram, they're exploring the world not only through friends and family, but also through their passions and through their interests. So how do we actually know that? Well, we've done some research to back it up. We asked Instagram users worldwide in a recent survey why they spend their time on the app. 64% of them told us they come here to follow friends and family. 50% of them told us they come to Instagram to follow their interests. And that could be everything from, say, cooking, shown here, to sports or music. It's a pretty wide aperture. And again, it's going to depend based on the person. Each person's experience is tailored to them. And then about a quarter of Instagram users told us it's a place they come to discover information around celebrities and popular culture. Businesses also have a home on Instagram. In fact, 60% of Instagram users have told us that they learn about products or services in the app. And actually, 75% of Instagram users tell us they've taken an action after being inspired by a post. So that could be visiting a website for more information, searching for something specific they've seen, shopping or making a purchase, or telling a friend about what they've seen. This is a long way of saying that businesses also have a home on Instagram and are absolutely part of the community, and that this is a relevant place for your brand or for your business to play. So let's talk now about the advertising solutions that are available to you on Instagram. This is the first ad that ran on Instagram, and actually it ran 2 years ago in November of 2013. It's an ad from Michael Kors. They've used a simple image to tell a story about their product and to speak to the lifestyle of their brand. And what we've seen is that ads like this still work really well on Instagram. What we've done, however, is greatly expanded the kinds of solutions available to our advertisers. So let's start with ad formats. First, of course, we still support our iconic square photo format, and that's still very much the currency of advertising on Instagram today. However, we now also support landscape photo ads. Second, we've added video ads to Instagram, and recently we've expanded the kinds of video ads we support on the platform. So similar to photo, we now support landscape for video as well. And we also support up to 30 seconds of content, which we know is important to advertisers. So we've introduced more flexibility both for photo and for video. Finally, we also have an ad unit called the carousel ad, which shows a sequence of images. And the sequence of images can do anything from taking a consumer on a journey or telling a story to highlighting multiple products. What happens is users will see the photo in their feed and they'll be able to scroll through that series of images. And we've found that it's a really powerful storytelling medium. In particular, we've seen that for brand advertisers, carousel ads drive a 2.5 percentage point increase in ad recall compared to standard photo ads alone. So it's a really hard-working ad format. Next are the kinds of solutions we offer in terms of objectives and buying. So not only have we expanded the ad formats, but we've also expanded the kinds of objectives you can buy on Instagram. And that's everything from upper funnel objectives and ways of buying around guaranteed impressions or reach and frequency or, say, video views, all the way through to more lower funnel action-oriented objectives. You can buy based on website clicks, website conversions, mobile app installs, and engagement. So really, we've rounded out the solution set we now offer. Next is targeting. So the great news here is that all of the same targeting you know and love from Facebook works on Instagram. So Facebook core targeting like demographic targeting, location targeting, interests, behaviors like purchases, those things are targetable and addressable on Instagram just as they are on Facebook. And then features that have been really hardworking for advertisers on Facebook, like custom audiences, which allows you to reach, say, your email list or website visitors on Facebook, also work on Instagram as well. So the power of targeting on Facebook now extends to Instagram, which is really great and a big change that we rolled out just a couple of months ago. So how do you buy Instagram ads? Well, similar to targeting, we offer many of the same interfaces and channels that Facebook ads do. So Instagram ads can be purchased through Facebook's Ads Manager as well as Power Editor. They can also be purchased through Instagram partners. If you work with a Facebook marketing partner, the Instagram partner program is very similar. In fact, many Instagram partners are also Facebook marketing partners, making it really easy to get going on the platform. So the important thing to know here is adding Instagram is really easy. If you want to add Instagram to your Facebook buy within Power Editor or Ads Manager, it's as simple as checking a box. We'll walk through this in a little bit more detail, but there's no big secret on how to buy Instagram ads if you're already familiar buying Facebook ads. It's really as simple as opting in and checking a box. So let's talk about what we're learning. We've, as I said, greatly expanded the kinds of ad formats and the kinds of solutions available to advertisers, and we've learned a lot in doing that. Let's start first with what we're learning for clients who have brand-oriented objectives. One of the biggest questions we get asked from clients is about creative. What kind of creative works on Instagram, and do I need custom creative to be successful on Instagram? And hopefully the ads that you're seeing here help answer that question. And that's that we're seeing a diversity of creative approaches work on Instagram. So some of the clients here did develop tailored creative for Instagram, and some of the clients also repurposed creative from other channels on Instagram. The important thing to know is that every advertiser we're showcasing on this slide saw the results that they care about on our platform. These are all case studies of successful Instagram ad campaigns. So I'll walk through just a couple of examples. So if you take a look at the two ads in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see an ad from Porsche and an ad for Fast and Furious 7. Both of these advertisers repurposed assets they had from other channels. So for instance, the Porsche ad is one of their catalog images. And in the case of Fast and Furious 7, they repurposed trailer footage for Instagram. Both of these campaigns drove results for those clients. And so there's no secret sauce. We have, however, learned some creative best practices, and all of the ads here follow those creative best practices, and they all correspond to driving metrics our clients care about. And those are three things. The first is make sure your ad is well branded and it's on brand so that consumers recognize it. We've seen that this drives higher ad recall. The second is make sure you're telling a story. Be concept driven. When you tell a story in your ad and your ad has a point of view, we've seen it's more likely to move brand metrics around perception, favorability, intent, and consideration. Finally, we also recommend being well crafted. Instagram is a mass media channel, and just as you approach any other mass media channel, the craft and attention to detail you pay to your ads matters here as well. And we've seen that doing so actually lifts overall results, everything from awareness to recall to perception. Now, those rules aren't specific to Instagram. In fact, those are creative best practices for advertising in any channel. They also work on Instagram, making it really easy to get started inspiring consumers with your creative on Instagram. Now, when I said that those ads all drove results for the advertisers featured, I wanted to highlight that we're seeing across all brand campaigns that run on Instagram really strong results. In particular, 98% of brand campaigns have generated a significant lift in ad recall, and that's about 18 percentage points on average. That's 3 times higher than Nielsen norms. What that tells us is that Instagram ads work and Instagram ads build brands. Now, what about advertisers who have more performance-oriented objectives? Direct response advertisers. We're seeing a very similar theme. And that's that a variety of creative approaches work on Instagram. So here is, again, a cross-section of direct response ads that ran on Instagram from advertisers who all saw success on the platform. And you can see that there's a variety of different approaches that work here. In some cases, advertisers repurposed creative from other channels, and in some cases, advertisers took a tailored approach. They all worked. Let's go through some of the examples in particular. So here's an example from Poshmark, which is an e-commerce app in the US. They used the same creative to drive mobile app installs on both Instagram and on Facebook. And using their Facebook creative on Instagram worked for them. In fact, on Instagram, their campaign drove a 37% increase in app installs. So they didn't need custom creative to get started and see success. Here's another example of an advertiser who ran the same creative across Facebook and Instagram. This is L'Occitane, which is a French cosmetics company, and they used Instagram carousel ads to drive website conversions. And they ran the same creative, and it worked for them on Instagram. So in particular, on Instagram, they saw a 58% point increase in conversions compared to their standard Instagram photo ads. So the carousel ad format worked for them, and the same creative worked across both channels. Now here's an example of an advertiser who took a tailored creative approach to Instagram. This is Gilt, and Gilt is another e-commerce marketplace in the US, and they used Instagram to drive installs of their mobile app. You can see they took a tailored creative approach to both Facebook and Instagram, but they didn't necessarily reinvent the wheel. Both creatives show the product front and center, and that approach worked for them. So in particular on Instagram, they saw an 88-point lift in app installs compared to a control group. So this is a case where custom creative really worked for the advertiser. And again, all of these approaches across the spectrum are working. So with that in mind, let's take a specific look at some best practices and some recommendations we have for everything from campaign setup through to reporting. So in terms of campaign setup, we recommend if you're looking to get started and you're looking to drive efficiency, to run across both Facebook and Instagram together. That means including Instagram and Facebook within the same ad set. So you may remember we mentioned that there are 400 million active users on Instagram. They're all on mobile. That means that when you're adding Instagram to your Facebook campaign, you're including new ways of reaching your customers on mobile. That's additional inventory. And what that means is when you run across both platforms, that additional inventory creates more efficiency for your buy. We've just got more places to deliver your ad, more opportunity to deliver your ad, and to do so in the way that's going to be most efficient for you. The second thing in terms of campaign setup is make sure that your ad drives to a mobile optimized landing page. This probably sounds obvious, but it's important to underscore because Instagram is a mobile only platform. So when a user clicks your ad, they're going to go to your website on mobile. And the experience there should be designed to get them to convert as seamlessly as possible. We're seeing that the better the mobile design of a site is, the more likely users are to convert, and therefore the more efficient your marketing spend is going to be. In terms of targeting and bidding, apply Facebook targeting to get started. So if you're wondering what your targeting strategy should be on Instagram, really great way to start is just by adding Instagram to your Facebook campaigns. And again, you're just introducing new ways to reach your consumers and introducing new mobile inventory and allowing us to deliver more efficiently. So to start, just check the box and include Instagram in your Facebook campaigns, and you'll be able to reach your target audience across more mobile inventory. The second is bid for your business objective. And yeah, this is probably another one of those things that sounds like really obvious. But the reason we mention that is because we're constantly updating the buying options and the objectives that are available to advertisers. So for instance, a few weeks ago, website clicks was the only objective available to drive website clicks and conversions. And now we've rolled out the website conversions objective. So for instance, you were previously buying on website clicks, but looking to drive conversions, Website Conversions is now available and is the best way to do that. So continue to look out for new ways of buying and new objectives as we roll them out. We're working hard to do so. In terms of creative, as we mentioned, a great way to get started is by leveraging your existing assets. Custom creative is not a requirement for Instagram. We're seeing great results from advertisers who leverage assets from other channels. Second is to take advantage of the carousel ad format. We mentioned it improves performance not only for brand-oriented advertisers, but also for advertisers who are more performance-oriented. So if you have multiple images you can use in an ad, take advantage of that format and the performance advantages it provides. Finally, in terms of reporting, we recommend setting up cross-device reporting. That means specifically using the Facebook Pixel, and if you're advertising mobile app install or engagement, use the Facebook or our mobile measurement partners SDKs. The reason why is, again, Instagram is a mobile-only channel, yet we all know that a lot of conversions happen across different devices. And so the best way to make sure that you're holding your Instagram media accountable is to set up that cross-device reporting. Finally, another way to make sure you're getting proper attribution for your Instagram media is through, if you're using a third-party platform like Google Analytics to measure site-side analytics, what you're going to want to do is have a unique destination URL for your Instagram ads. And that's going to allow you to attribute the referral traffic appropriately to Instagram. So you can do that by making sure your UTM source is identified as coming from Instagram. So let's talk quickly about how to get started. And again, there's more details in the handout that accompany this webinar. It's really easy to get started with your first Instagram ad. There are 3 steps. Step 1 is link your business's Instagram account to your Facebook page. We'll walk through how to do that. Now, if you don't currently have an Instagram account for your business, that's okay. You can get started with Instagram ads using your Facebook page to identify your business within your Instagram ads. And we'll walk through that in a minute. The second thing is just select Instagram as a placement. So if you're buying through Power Editor or Ads Manager, we'll show you how to do this. But just make sure the box is checked for Instagram and your ad can run on our platform. The third and final is manage, optimize, and report together. So that means that both Facebook and Instagram campaign management, optimization, and reporting are all done through the same interface. So the same places you're already going to do that for your Facebook campaigns, you can also do that for Instagram. So let's talk about linking your business's Instagram account. We've made it really easy. So if you're in the flow in either Ads Manager or in Power Editor, as you go through the flow, you will be prompted to add your Instagram account if Instagram is selected as a placement for your campaign. And you can see we call it out. We ask you to click a button to add your Instagram account. And once you do, you'll be prompted to enter your business's username and password for your Instagram account. And it's that simple. Your business's Instagram account will be used to represent your ad on our platform. Now, if you don't currently have a Facebook, or if you don't currently have an Instagram account for your business, that's okay. You can still run ads. And what we'll do is take your Facebook profile picture and page name from your business's Facebook page, and we'll use that to represent your business in your Instagram ad. So you can see here, this business's profile picture and Facebook page name are being used within their Instagram ad. And so that's a really easy way to get started advertising on Instagram. There are some drawbacks to doing this. We call them out again in that handout that we've included. So take a look at that, but nonetheless, a really great way to get started. So let's talk about selecting Instagram as a placement within your campaign. So within Ads Manager, make sure the box for Instagram is checked. It's that easy, and you'll also see a preview of what your ad will look like on Instagram. Very similar in Power Editor. So when you're at the L2 or the ad set level in Power Editor, just make sure the box is checked for Instagram as a placement for your campaign. And again, it's that easy. Your ad will run across Instagram. So when you include Instagram and Facebook together in the same ad set, what happens? It's really easy. So we'll take the same creative, whether that's a photo, a series of photos, or a video, the same copy or caption, and whatever call to action you select, and we'll run that across both Instagram and Facebook. And so here's kind of a mock of what that looks like. The same creative assets will just run between the two platforms. And again, we'll deliver those impressions wherever they're most efficient for your objective. So, wrapping up, the key things to kind of take away from our time together today is 1, Instagram is now a full funnel solution. 2, the ads work. Hopefully the results we shared and the case studies we walk through will give you the confidence that whatever your objective, we can help. And finally, third, it's really easy to get started. I'd encourage everyone here to download the step-by-step guide, and this will really help you get started with your Instagram ads in a way that's really practical. And visit our Instagram for Business webpage, business.instagram.com. We've got a blog with a lot of product news on there, so you can check for the new ad formats and buying options that are available, as well as review more case studies that are relevant to your business. So we'll open it up quickly for Q&A, and we'll take a minute to look through the questions that have been submitted. Great. So we've gotten a few questions. We're going to take 4 of the top questions. One of the first questions is about the 20% rule. So if you're a Facebook advertiser, you may be familiar with the 20% text policy. That means in a photo ad, no more than 20% of the real estate can be taken up with text. Does that rule apply on Instagram as well? And the answer is yes. So the same 20% text rule that applies to Facebook ads also applies to Instagram ads. We've also gotten some questions about different buying options and features and formats that we went through in this webinar. A few folks have mentioned that those are not yet available to them. And the reason why is we roll out features for Instagram over a series of weeks. And so right now, all of the features we walked through have begun rolling out. Some of them have not yet finished rolling out. So for instance, if you're using Ads Manager, you may not yet see the website conversion objective, or you may not yet see, say, carousel ads in Ads Manager. It's important to know that we plan to finish rolling out all of the features that we went through in today's webinar by about December 2nd. So if you're not seeing something now, you should see it by December 2nd. The one exception is the brand awareness objective. That objective is rolling out more slowly across both Facebook and Instagram, but all other products, objectives, ad formats, you name it, we expect will be fully rolled out for Instagram by December 2nd. So a third question we got was around targeting, and our hashtag targeting available. Is hashtag targeting available on Instagram? And the answer to that question is no. Currently, the targeting for Instagram is the same as Facebook. Facebook targeting is actually a blend of signals from both Instagram and from Facebook. Right now, it skews more heavily towards signals from Facebook, but we're constantly working to bring more Instagram signals to Facebook targeting. Currently, there are no plans to introduce hashtag targeting, but please do know that over time, we are looking to enhance the kind of targeting available for both Facebook and for Instagram. And we'll take one final question, which is around followers. Is it possible to bid for account followers on Instagram, like, say, bidding for a like on Facebook? And the answer is no, not right now. As we grow the Instagram platform and as we ramp up advertising on Instagram, right now we're really just focused on helping advertisers achieve the business results they care about. And so that's why we focused on things like mobile app installs or brand awareness, kind of key marketing and business metrics that advertisers are looking to move. So right now we have not yet introduced followers or likes for Instagram. We don't have any plans to do so yet, but it's something we'll continue to evaluate in the future. Right now, we'll remain focused on kind of getting to parity with a lot of the core business objectives and features that Facebook ads offer. So thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate the time today. Make sure to download the handout we included. It will help you get started in both Ads Manager and in Power Editor. And again, apologies for starting the webinar late. We had some technical difficulties, but we really do appreciate all of you who stayed on the line to join us, and we hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.